Morning. This is Alvin. You know me, of course. We're working together with Tiana this morning, which we'll share a little bit more, but she's our latest employee and brings a lot of experience with her in really helping our firm. Um, I've prepared this video specifically for you, our existing clients. Many of you have been with me for a long time since I started full-time on my own, some even longer than that, and others more recently, including some family and friends. Over the last few years, I spent a lot of time thinking about where we want our firm to go, how we want to run that firm, and what kind of experience I want all of you to share with me in that. So today we're preparing a video about where our firm's at, how we continue to grow, and what kind of impacts that our work has as we work together. And really, I want you to know this is also how we work with all our prospective clients. So when you send us a referral, they get to go through this introduction to our firm as well. We take what we call an advisory services approach, which is a little different to some firms out there. We made a pivot a few years ago, and some of you have kind of seen bits and pieces of that, including recently some tax tips in your tax return when we sent that out this year. And really, we're looking at how do we continue to support you, both with the financial educational approach and really to grow that in a little deeper manner. And we'll kind of come back to what advisory services means to us and our firm in a couple slides. But first, I kind of want to back up just a hair. Um, I've been in business for 6 years full time, and really I started my firm. I might have crystallized this a little bit since then, but I had a vision from the very beginning, and really even goes back further than that. And it's a belief that our country and our community can benefit from an increased financial literacy. And when we say that, we actually take that to heart. We're, of course, looking for people that want to work with us, who enjoy that financial education and guidance. Um, but it underpins what we do and how we do it. And our clients have kind of grown to appreciate that approach. And we want to make sure that you, our existing clients, are receiving all of these benefits as well. So we'll share kind of some things as we go along that will be benefits for you because we do appreciate how you have been with us from the beginning, many of you. But our focus really is what we're trying to do, help our clients to kind of achieve their goals. So we have to take some time to get acquainted with our clients, to know what it is they want to achieve, what their goals and ambitions are. When we're meeting with prospective clients after we introduce our firm, we usually start that get acquainted process. As existing clients, hopefully we've already started that process with you. And we're going to offer some opportunities to expand that for you, depending on what your personal desires and opportunities are. But our goal is to educate our clients then to become tax efficient. So tax efficiency is not just a buzzword, but it's really a focus in how we want to do all of the pieces of what we do. And so ultimately, we want to identify what's the strategy for you long before your tax return is due. We try to avoid falling into the commodity trap, and that's kind of a buzzword, I suppose. But really, what we're wanting to do is partner with you, our clients. And hopefully, most of you have experienced that already, and that we're working with you to help you reach your goals. So today, what we're wanting to do is kind of expand that in terms of how we do that and to be a little bit more structured and formal to make sure that you, our existing clients, are getting the full benefit of our service model. We, of course, are going to continue to do tax and accounting work, but we want to shift it from being reactive and instead of and move it to being that end result of strategic planning. I sometimes joke as I'm out with friends and family and activities that as an accountant, I live in the past. We're always preparing prior year's tax returns, but we're trying to be intentional to kind of flip that script a little bit and to help us to be more proactive. And so this is, again, really the purpose behind what we're doing in our business relationships with you. What we want are mutually beneficial, long-lasting relationships. And so those of you that have been with us for a while, hopefully have already experienced that core relationship piece and know that that's what we're trying to build towards in a more structured and formal manner. So we mentioned advisory services earlier, and really this is our chance to kind of both provide some of that financial education. New prospective clients, this is actually a core requirement as we're going to establish a formal strategic plan. And so we're going to spend some time together getting acquainted, providing some financial literacy and education around tax efficiency. And so really in our advisory services, this is a one-time fee. As existing clients, this is optional for you, but we want to make sure it's available to those who are interested in it and looking for this level of service from us. So if you choose to add advisory services, there will be a one-time fee for you. We'll offer you a discounted pricing through the course of this offering because we want to reward and honor what you've given us already and make sure you are receiving what you want to receive from us. Our maintenance services then provide our core ongoing service model. So where the advisory is the initial foundation, the maintenance then is how we deliver that over time. The purpose of our maintenance plans are to provide a little bit more clarity, structure around what our core services are, how we will offer those to you. And then once we've established that core relationship, we've been moving to putting our fees instead of the deposit and balance due on the tax return, just setting that up to correspond with the calendar year where we're going to provide the service prospectively, answering questions, doing the tax planning. And so we'll put a fixed monthly fee together and we'll share that with you at the end of the video, what your fixed monthly fee will be. So the maintenance package typically will include your business and or personal tax returns. And in your specific case, we're going to parallel the service levels that you've already been receiving in terms of your tax return. But we want to add that tax planning element for those that choose that level of service. If you have accounting needs, we'll address those separately. That's not going to be addressed in here unless you're already formally receiving, and then we'll include that in what you're doing at the similar level to what you've been doing. And then, of course, we're here all year round. We want to encourage you to take advantage of that. Depending on your service level, it might be a stated number or what we call unlimited phone calls and support. So both levels will be available to you, our existing clients. So with that, I want to kind of give Tiana to share a little bit more, both about why she chose our firm, which is relevant to what we're talking about today, and how she sees that from her perspective. Tiana?
Hi everyone, I'm Tiana and I joined the team at Apex Tax and Financial because I was really interested in the advisory focused approach. When I first interviewed with Alvin and the team, one thing that stood out to me was that the focus wasn't solely on preparing tax returns. The goal was really to partner with clients and help them make strong financial decisions long term. That included things like retirement planning, building financial stability, planning ahead for future tax situations, and even helping families think about what they want to leave behind for their kids someday. Before joining the team, I also spent some time reading client reviews, and there was a really consistent theme. Clients constantly talked about feeling supported throughout the year, not just during tax season. One review that stood out to me, and Alvin can share that on the screen, thank you. It said, they provided such helpful financial advice during a time when we were facing a lot of major changes, and we learned so much about setting our family up for success. What immediately stood out to me was that the client felt supported and they actually learned something through the process. We focused on the financial plan first, and the tax return was a direct result of that work. Since starting here, I've seen how helpful this approach really is. For clients in our advisory and maintenance model, tax time is so much easier because we've been working together throughout the year. We can plan ahead, talk through choices before they happen, and put strategies in place early instead of rushing at year end. With that said, I'll pass it back to Alvin to go over our different services.
Thank you, Tiana. And I guess I'll just highlight for you, if you refer somebody to us, we actually no longer take new clients during the peak of tax season. In fact, if you go to our website, there's a place for you to log your information. We offer what we call a no obligation complimentary extension so that we can honor our process, make sure needs are still being met, and that we can, of course, take care of you, our existing clients, as our priority during that busiest time of the year. So we've continued to work on building our service model in a way that honors our existing clients and supports new clients who are looking to join this level of service. So here's kind of our formal menu of advisory services on the left-hand side and maintenance services on the right. So again, the advisory is kind of our core. For new clients, this is kind of that foundational introduction to who we are, how we work. We share usually our personal best practice. That's kind of our core intro series, and or the business best practice, depending on whether it's personal and or business. And then, certainly for our business, you can still use business planning if you have a business alongside of your personal tax return. And then we're always kind of looking at what are income strategies that are relevant to you, your particular situation, and helping you build that tax efficiency analysis. I'll also highlight rental as another of our key services that we work with, and we have a specific advisory module for that. And then the last one is our cash flow retirement planning. Cash flow, sometimes it's focused on the cash flow only. Sometimes it's the cash flow as you build towards retirement. Most of us want to retire eventually. And so this is a tool we have found that brings both a lot of clarity, a lot of insight, and is very foundational. Sometimes it steps towards that investment side or estate planning and some bigger planning questions and issues that can be built from that. And other times it's just smaller decisions, buying your next house or how you want to kind of structure those decisions within that. And so I want to highlight that, first of all, on all of our advisory services at the end of a presentation here, we'll share those at an existing client pricing that honors you for what you've given us and allows you to take advantage of these at a lower price. For the cash flow planning, even more so. So we'll highlight that in the end here in a minute. Our maintenance services, again, is the core ongoing piece. We're going to, again, give you, our existing clients, a little special opportunity today to start with our core maintenance services, tax return preparation, IRS correspondence, which many of you are familiar with, that we've been calling our TCAP, tax correspondent and audit protection, and of course, CPA questions. Our comprehensive maintenance services will include our tax planning module as well. So ultimately, what we're trying to do is offer to you the model and situation that we have built for all of our new clients, and that's to honor what we are wanting to do. We prefer to work with clients who are wanting to be proactive and are looking for a firm like ours to help them to achieve those goals. And so whether you've been with us for a short while or a long while, we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to step into this proactive perspective with our tax planning, our year-end tax planning as a key component of that. But really, our advisory services also helped us to form both some financial literacy around tax efficiency in particular, and to kind of step into how we are going to be doing that for you. So let me just pop up on the screen you're going to get this proposal. We'll insert the video we're making in here now. And you're going to get to choose one of our core packages. When you get this, your core maintenance, and we're going to again set this up on a monthly maintenance plan similar to all of our current clients. And it's going to include the current tax year. So this will be the 2026 maintenance plan, which will include your 2026 tax return, if I can spit that out of my mouth correctly. We'll include our TCAP, as you've known it, also our IRS notice and response. And for our core maintenance, we're going to include up to 3 phone calls or emails and portal questions. Obviously, this doesn't count your support questions around using the portal. Our admin can help with that. Certainly questions that they may have for you when we're gathering information to complete your tax return or year-end tax plans. So our core maintenance, we're still here for you, but we're going to build in a more limited amount of ongoing support and financial questions. Any of these questions could be more comprehensive than we can answer in a simple online or phone call. And if we do need to expand that into a formal advisory, we'll let you know before we proceed with that. And if that's the best way to handle that. If you would like to choose our comprehensive maintenance, which we have marked as our recommended plan, this is the way we can best serve you on an ongoing basis to help meet your goals. And we can utilize advisory or not to kind of help you set those goals, but we'll include the same as the core maintenance, the tax return, IRS notices. We've increased that to unlimited phone calls and supports, and it formally includes our 2026 year-end planning. So again, this is all your 2026 maintenance agreement. And as a special thank you to our existing clients, you're going to get the video link to our advisory individual 1040 best practice series. This talks to you about tax efficiency how we do our work here and outline some of the core income strategies and deduction strategies that could be available to you through our ongoing tax planning. Those of you that would like a little bit more, we are going to offer again at the discounted prices for our advisory services, all of the above, including our core and comprehensive maintenance, tax return, IRS notice, unlimited phone calls, year-end planning. Plus, you can choose 1, 2, 3, or all 4 of these specific advisory sessions at the price indicated. All of these prices are well below our normal pricing and are going to be available through June 15th for you to take advantage of the advisory services. We'll, of course, be happy to service you on the advisory needs going forward, but we'll offer these discounted prices for a short time just to allow you the opportunity to take advantage of these here and now. As we continue to build our practice to serve more clients, we want to make sure you, our existing clients, are well taken care of. So once you've selected the package that you prefer, I guess I unselected it there, you'll get the full engagement letter. The advisory services are all outlined here below. In this case, you're going to select the service level you want, which will initiate the initial recurring transaction for invoices. The engagement letter language will give you the outline details of all of the available advisory options that we're offering for you at this time, as well as our ongoing maintenance for tax returns. Then depending on whether you did the core or the comprehensive, we only have so much optionality to this, so we've included both options in here, and whichever one you select above will be the one that will be honored. So then once you've signed that, you'll again, as you're usually accustomed to, get your invoice that will populate, and you can make that first payment. As a note, our current online payment system is changing just slightly. Unfortunately, we don't have any control over that, and so there'll be a link for you to enter your payment information upon acceptance. One final note, if you do choose the advisory, please email us in the portal or message us in the portal which modules you would like to be included in your specific advisory session, and we'll send you a follow-up invoice for that one-time fee for those advisory services. So again, we thank you for being long-term clients with us, helping us to grow as a firm, and we look forward for many more years to continuing to serve you in helping you succeed financially and increase your financial literacy so that we can all succeed together. We wish you well, and if you do have questions as you're going through this, don't hesitate to drop us a note, pick up the phone and call us. Tiana or I will be available to help you answer questions and making a decision around which package and which offering will work best for you. Have a great day. Thanks.